republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the December 2nd Eastchester Union Free School District Board of Education meeting. As always, it's nice to see so many people here with us this evening, and I know that we have an action-packed agenda. For those of you that didn't have the opportunity, some of us just came from the band chorus concert that was held right here for Ann Hutch. Those kids did a tremendous job. To the faculty and staff that helped them put that together, a round of applause for them this evening. And before we jump into the agenda, Elias, I'd like to turn it over to you as our student representative.
Hello everyone. First, we're going to start off with the school updates and start with Eastchester High School first. The Three Musketeers was a smashing success at Eastchester High School. Over the weekend of November 21st to 23rd, the Players Club presented 3 outstanding performances. The choreography and comedic delivery were exceptional, and the club broke box office records with more tickets sold than any previous production. Bravo to the cast and crew. On Friday, December 5th, I will be hosting student listening sessions during lunch periods. These sessions will provide a valuable opportunity for students to share their experiences and have their voices heard. The annual holiday basketball tournament will take place from Thursday, December 4th through Saturday, December 6th. The community looks forward to cheering on the Eagles as they take on the court. EHS is also preparing for a busy concert season in the coming weeks, featuring performances by the chorus, band, and orchestra. The level of talent on stage at EHS continues to be second to none. Now from Greenville, the Greenville School has partnered with Feeding Westchester for this year's food drive. So far, the school has collected 262 pounds of food, providing 318 meals to families in need. This achievement highlights the meaningful impact students can make when they come together as a community. The Greenville Food Drive will continue until December 19th. From Waverly, Waverly is looking forward to the festive week ahead. The annual Holiday Boutique is scheduled for the end of the week, giving students a joyful opportunity to select small gifts for their loved ones. The first grade winter concert is right around the corner, and students have been practicing with great excitement. This performance is always a highlight of the season. Recently, first graders visited the Hudson River Museum for a grade-wide field trip. Students had a wonderful time exploring the exhibits and making meaningful connections to their learning. The school extends its appreciation for the community's continued support of Waverly's youngest learners. From Ann Hutch, the Ann Hutch School will host its annual Senior Citizen Breakfast on Friday, December 5th for seniors in the community. This cherished event is led by 5th grade student council members, and students are encouraged to invite their grandparents to attend. The school is excited to honor local seniors and takes great pride in continuing this meaningful tradition. Now for the famous Elias 2 for 2. 2 positives that are going well in the high school are that students are liking the new lunch system where it's clear to place backpacks. There's like signs everywhere and divider in the entrance, and it makes it overall a lot smoother and less chaotic since the start of the year, as more people are in the lunchroom because there's only 3 lunch periods this year instead of 4. And students also appreciate how a lot of teachers aren't giving homework during the break. Now for some feedback from the student body. A lot of students I talked to would like to be able to use their phones during free periods in the library and cafeteria. A lot of them emphasize that there's a lot of studying resources that they don't have access to on computers and mostly on their phone. Another piece of feedback is that students feel that advisory lessons sometimes are a little more repetitive during advisory periods. And yeah, that's it for my summary. Thank you.
Thank you, Eliza. Since I'm on the policy committee, we just want to address the concerns about the cell phone policy. So the cell phone policy was a directive from the state. So unfortunately, we kind of have our hands tied in terms of the requirements from the state. I do know that some of the superintendents, Dr. They have petitions the governor to, I guess, to take a look again at the policy and to see maybe if there's other areas to sort of maybe loosen it. Unfortunately, since I think this is her election year, that might be put onto on the wayside. But we just want to make it clear that we value and we hear from the students. However, at this time, we really can't make amends to the policy.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't know that, but I'll communicate that to everybody because a lot of people were asking me to say that. So I think now I have a clear understanding. Thank you.
And just one thing, as you go back to what Christine pointed out, there are a lot of student officers at the secondary level that are also petitioning the governor and Albany to look at the policy as well. So that is something that perhaps with Mr. Welsh, you could actually bring back and figure out how to contact Albany to see if you can institute some type of a change. But I know other student bodies at other school districts are doing that as well. Great, thank you so much. Any other questions from the trustees on those reports?
So not really a question or report, but I just want to thank Mr. Welsh and his administration yesterday for hosting the open house for the incoming ninth graders who are, parents of an eighth grader who've never ventured into the high school. It was very eye-opening. I do appreciate the fact that the presentations and the slides will be on the children's Google Classroom site, so that anybody who wasn't able to attend last night can take a look at the slides to see what is offered, what's expected for ninth graders, what the schedule is from here through June with respect to what the children will be going through and what's expected of the parents in terms of scheduling. So I do want to thank you for a great open house.
Thank you, Christine. Any other policy committee board reports from anyone? Okay, great. Dr. V, we're now up to you for the superintendent's reports.
All right, good evening, everyone, and thank you, Elias, always for the 2 for 2. Always so great to hear all the feedback. Speaking on terms of advisory, just a plug, next week on December 10th, there will be 2 presentations, one at 12:55 for our student body at the high school in the newly outfitted gym with the big screen, an advisory experience with a guest speaker by the name of Tim Kessinger. I hope I said that last name right. And it's really around that big push that we have around just wellness and good decision-making and all of that work. And Dr. Meyer has been working diligently with Principal Welsh on bringing these experiences to our secondary body. And then, of course, also at 7 o'clock, we will have the same speaker present in the digital lab for families. And so that RSVP will go out very soon. So families who are interested should sign up and come on out because he is a pretty dynamic speaker. Moving right into tonight's report, we have a couple of presentations. I know that we have 3 on the agenda, but because of the weather tonight, the snow up a little more north from us has kind of stymied our special education assistant superintendent. So we're going to not have that this evening, and then our facilities presentation will be given to us first by Mr. Elliot Sheldon. So I invite him up to the podium. All right, and while Elliot is getting ready, I just want to say that it has been really exciting to join the district and see all the construction that has been happening in all of our schools. Just seeing the before and after pictures have been a major transformation in some areas, and that is to the good work of our community for voting for all of this work to move forward. And finally, over the years, we are starting to see these projects come to fruition, so very exciting to see that. All right, and here's Mr. Sheldon.
So tonight we have 2 updates to give you, one from the facilities side of things and one from the construction project update as well. So good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Do I just hit next on this thing? Right, there we go. Yes. So tonight we're going to update everyone on the Phase 3 and Phase 4 of the capital project. Phase 3 was the HVAC renovation at the high school and middle school. It started in 2024 and was substantially completed in September of this year. So Phase 3, the first phase of it was the middle school. That was done 2 summers ago. Last summer was the high school. Also included in that was a lot of domestic water piping, many infrastructure items above and beyond just HVACs, and then accessibility as well. focused in more so in Phase 4. Phase 4 was Ann Hutch Elementary School and some bathrooms here at the high school. So the next couple slides are going to be a lot of pictures of what kind of happened this summer so people can see the in-depth amount of work that truly happens in a very tight window. 10 weeks, we do a lot of work. So this is your auditorium main lobby. That picture was probably taken in early August. All those pipes running through are new heating and electrical lines supporting HVAC upgrades and the chiller on the rooftop of the building. And then we put it all back and it looks beautiful. That's the main hallway right outside of the main office at the high school. The next one is, this was part of Phase 4. This was the bathroom and ADA accommodations here at the high school. So the old green bathroom got torn out, new accessible bathrooms went in. Nice clean look as well. This is a kind of a standard install in the classrooms across the district here. Before we had some old cast iron radiators. Now we have active air in the classroom, so we're turning over the air multiple times per hour. The kids are staying awake. CO2 levels are where they should be. Everything's working the way it should be. This picture was actually taken about 1 week before the first day of school. This is the basement of the high school. That major looking wires to your right on the before picture supported the new chiller that was added to the roof. So they ran all that wire through this building from the basement up to the rooftop in less than a week. Sometimes how the schedule goes. And then on the right, nice and beautiful for the first day of school. So these are our two chillers. They're 230 tons each. One supports the middle school, one supports the high school. And, you know, the middle school was active at the start of the school year. The high school was shortly thereafter. We do, you know, we're fine-tuning some of the controls on them still because it's a new system to the district, but they're all actively working, or they were during the warmer times this year. So let's see if this works. This is a cool video of them actually craning the chiller onto the rooftop. This is the stuff that gets me excited. I don't know about anybody else. But they brought in about a 100-ton crane. They had to pick it over top of the gym, and then they placed it onto a tonnage that's over top of the middle school. Kind of in the breezeway between the cafeteria and the gymnasium. This is the high school boiler room. I know it doesn't really look all that cool, but there's a lot of things that went into that boiler room. Other than the boilers actually being replaced, they weren't because they're fairly new. We retrofitted everything else in the building to accommodate a new hydronic system. We used to have steam, so now we have a hot water system. So we have new pumps, drives, and everything else that supports it. It's currently insulated now, but this is what it looked like right before they put insulation on everything. So right now it's like it's a sea of white pipes running through the building. This is Ann Hutch. This is like the main hallway right up top when you walk into the from the street, from the auditorium area, before and after. This is their cafeteria. It really took a transformation from that old yellow to a new, clean look. Looks much better. It actually even makes the green floor look kind of nice. And this is the last one here. This is the auditorium. So they had to build a standing seam floor to do the work and to abate the ceiling and then put the new ceiling in. a few other things that happened. We painted the auditorium. Unfortunately, the project wasn't able to support new seats or theater lights, but the house lights and everything else has improved. We recently just finished the stage, and I believe we're using it this week for the boutique at the school. So it's awesome. So phase 3, again, that's the HVAC for the high school and middle school. Our initial budget was roughly $20 million. Our total contract values after the initial buyout was around $15.75 million. To date, we've had about 160,000 in change orders. There's still a few that we're finalizing as we close the project out. But as you can see, we have a pretty good variance going into the last phase, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. Phase 4 was primarily a few bathrooms here at the high school and the Ann Hutch HVAC renovations. The initial budget was $10 million, a little over $10 million, and we came in a little over $9 million. And we had a total of change orders to date at 282,000. We still have a few coming forth. We had some unexpected asbestos that we found. We're just negotiating those final change orders. So the variance is going to be around 750,000 at the end of the day. So going into phase 5, we have Waverly and Greenvale's HVAC systems that need to be updated. Also included is other infrastructure things like restroom improvements, ADA access, ceiling and lights throughout to support the HVAC and getting the pipes where they need to go. We have domestic water pipes. So all your drinking water pipes are being replaced in those 2 buildings, and they have been in these buildings as well. And then obviously the abatement to support it. One thing we weren't able to do in an earlier phase was the locker rooms at the middle school. So that is being added to this phase right now, currently with SED for approval. And that will be going towards some of those variances because that should have been included in the earlier packages, but at the time, we were in transition from athletic directors and needed a clear sight as to what was best for those areas. So now that we have that, we're able to design it, and we're gonna hopefully build it this coming summer. So a couple other things that we're currently being faced with at the moment, that, with every project, there's always a little bit of unanticipation, but we're seeing an increase in HVAC, steel, aluminum, other electrical supply things, anything that has to do with metal right now, due to tariffs, things coming from Mexico, Canada, China, other places. So we want to, be transparent with that. We don't, we have budgets for the next phase, but we're not sure where we're gonna land, if we're gonna be in a good spot or if we're gonna go over those a little bit. So that variance, may get chewed up by some of these items at the moment. And some other things that were just removed from earlier phases due to other unforeseen items at the time, but we do have a few ramps that we need to upgrade throughout the building. The biggest one being the one inside Hutch, going down to the 3rd grade wing. So with that said, that's the capital project update. I believe I have a facilities update here. Was there any questions? No.
Actually, Elliot, I do have a quick question.
Sure.
Just for the folks at home or the folks here that don't know, how long have you been with the school district now?
About 2.5 years. I
About
started
2.5
in
years.
July.
What I want to highlight is the amount of work and what has been completed under your stewardship in 2.5 years is nothing short of amazing.
Thank you.
Looking at what some of us here inherited and how long it took to get things done, and for those of you that don't know, you have to deal with the State Department of Education to get these things approved. There's an entire bid process that the state makes Elliott and the district comply to. In 2.5 years, the things that have been completed in our school district, nothing short of amazing. That's happened under you, and not only that, your interaction with the community, we hear it. When there is a concern, when someone has a question, you're responsive and you get back to them. And I know I speak for myself and the entire board, we appreciate all the work that you're doing, so thank you.
Thank you. I truly appreciate it. Nick, was the facilities one here?
You do
So real quick, I just wanna highlight our staff, because, without them, many things are not possible here at East Chester. So who are we? We're roughly 40 people in one part-time position. We maintain your 500,000 square feet. We have over 40 acres of land we maintain. We have 6 total buildings, 5 schools, 1 district office. So, if you look at like a textbook thing, what does the facilities department do? Well, ultimately, we're responsible for making sure we have a warm, well-lit, cool, dry, now cool, 2025, building that's safe for all staff and students to come to every day. But I want to highlight some of the folks, and actually we're going to highlight everyone tonight, but that really truly make this possible, because it's not me that does it alone. There's many people that come here every day. We open the buildings every morning at 6 a.m. and we close at 11:30. So here are your 5 head custodians, starting at the top. Many of them have over 20 years experience in the district, or at least 10. Carmine runs the high school, Pete runs the middle school, Joe's over at Ann Hutch. Our newest member, Sam Mohammed, is at Greenvale. Waverly has Steve, who was recently appointed about a year ago, and our nighttime senior is Michael Caridio. He supports primarily high school, middle school, but then supports the other buildings as needed. This is many of the other staff. Frank Sestola is our maintenance foreman. He's been with the district for over 10 years. He helps run all these small little projects that we do every year. We'll talk about a few of them in a minute. And he runs the maintenance crew in the district courier. Many of these folks have been here a very long time. Couple highlights would be Mr. Wayne Nelson. Lansford's been here for almost 30 years, started as a cleaner. Now he's a journeyman electrician. Tommy on the maintenance labor crew, primarily landscaping. He's been here 25 plus years too as well. So a lot of these guys put a lot of hard work and dedication into what we do every day. Our district courier is Angel. He runs around, makes sure everyone gets their mail. And I would be remorse if I didn't highlight Mrs. DeMasi, the assistant to the department, maybe not quite the best title for her, but she's really an office manager. She handles many, many different things for us. So here at the high school, we have close to 12 staff. Like I said, Mike supports both, but you could see them all. We got Jose, Lester, Katrina, Nathan. Nathan's been here almost 30 years himself, 25 plus years. John Malati, Kim, Corey, George, and again, Mike and Carmine. This building is very big. I don't know if everyone realizes. We have 203,000 square feet in this facility alone. Over 60 classrooms, plus small group instruction spaces, multiple gyms, and every square inch of this place pretty much gets cleaned every night by these guys. The middle school consists of about 7. We do have 1 vacancy at the moment, but John Anderson, Jose's been here over 30 years at this point. Fernando, Colin, Warren, and headed up by Pete. Going to Ann Hutch, we have Carl, Manny, Sylvia, and Joe. Sylvia is another longtime employee. She's approaching 30 years as well. Kevin, John, Anna, and Sam at Greenville. Anna's been here close to 20 years as well. Waverly has Angela, who's actually retiring this year, Cynthia, Vincent, and Steve. So every year we get tasked with many things, and I just want to highlight some of the things that we do. I didn't put a big picture slide together because we already went through a lot of stuff, but I figured I'd just highlight them. Waverly being the top one this year, we kind of tried to do a beautification project across the district. We redid the pergola, landscaping all throughout the building. It looks amazing. It was 100% done by our staff. We also turned some spaces into smaller group instruction spaces, and we painted the gym inside. Ann Hutch, Greenville, both got their flagpoles painted this summer. We did some new plantings in the front of each one of those buildings. Tried to upgrade the grass the best we can without irrigation. We're trying to get good grass. It's tough. And then we also, did some other minor alterations inside the building. And we'll move to the high school, middle school campus quickly, but we enhanced the exterior landscaping in the back, kind of as you go down the hill to Stairwell G. We turned our student center into a cafe, so I think the students are really kind of enjoying that area right now. We put a new floor in there, it looks really nice. We did some flooring throughout the building, and we're still working on it, but we're trying to finish up the STEM lab. And then the one last thing I want to mention is we integrated to an online work order and scheduling software system. It was called Master Library up until a couple weeks ago. But these numbers are since we started it. So we've had over 7,600 events in this space in 15 months. That's how busy these campuses are. We run 7 days a week at times, and the facility staff is what really helps support all this. I would be remorse if I didn't say, the credit needs to go to them, and we also turn out a lot of work orders. So I appreciate the opportunity to present this tonight. Thank you, and I'll leave it at that.
And Mr. Sheldon, I just want to give a big shout out to your team as well, just as you acknowledged everyone this evening. We started with talking about capital construction, where tax dollars go, and it's big money, and they put a lot of work and effort into it, but then you also see the team that does an extremely good thing to maintaining those capital dollars. So when you think about a high school or our entire school district as the flagship or the center of this town, what attracts families to come here, those tax dollars are going to some really important spaces. 7,600 events for not just our school community, but for community members on the outside as well as the internal square footage that you maintain, those acres of land outside and fields that you maintain as well. They take their job very, very with seriousness and keep it up very well. So thank you to all of you.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Okay, and next I invite Mr. Michael Ramponi, our athletic director, to come on up and talk a little bit about some of the updates in our athletic department. And as he's getting ready for his presentation, just as a perspective to think of it as the kind of initial phase, and there will be more phases as we continue to move forward as our athletic department continues to grow and fortify itself. Okay, here he is.
Well, thank you and good evening. So thank you, Dr. V, for having me tonight and the Board of Education and the Central Office Administrative Team. Anytime we get the chance to speak about athletics, physical education, health publicly, we'll take it, and we greatly appreciate you for that. Tonight, we're just here to focus on how we can sort of align what we're doing in athletics with Dr. V's new lovely vision of 4 campuses, 4 pillars, 1 vision. As we feel athletics plays a huge role, athletics and student wellness, physical education, and health play a huge role in all 4 of those pillars. So, in this brief slide presentation tonight, we're going to discuss some strategies that we're doing to align and enhance our current systems that are in place, our structures that are in place, and what new is also to come down the pike a bit. So from there, we're going to get started, and we're just going to just do some athletics by the numbers just for this fall season. For those of you that don't know, high school athletics, as per New York State athletics, is broken down into 3 seasons, the fall, winter, and spring, and you're only permitted to play 1 sport per season. So we do offer 10 varsity sports in the fall season, which was highly populated this year. When you see the number 35% at the high school, that number, as you go out throughout the year, should be closer to 60 or 70% as we get through all 3 seasons. So we had 192 varsity athletes, 120 JV athletes, 174 modified athletes, and modified is obviously our middle school student population for 7th and 8th grade. And again, that's not limited to 7th and 8th grade by us, that's a New York State athletic thing. And down at the bottom, we have a gender breakdown, 252 females and 234 males. We do not choose what's offered per season, so in the fall, there are a lot more offerings for the females as opposed to our spring offerings. There are a lot more offerings for the male students. So that's probably why the female student number is a little bit higher. Just a couple of highlights from the fall season. Our cheer, I'll call them a machine, with their back-to-back New York State Championship. I was lucky enough to be at the event. Wow, I've been to most state championships over the last 25 years, from wrestling to football to whatever to baseball, all of them, and that's probably one of the more exciting ones I've been to. It's the parents probably get more into it than the student athletes, and it's pretty cool. And to see us to be there and watch us win the state championship was pretty awesome. So kudos to them, and I get to watch them practice. They get after it, and there's a reason that they're back-to-back New York State champions. It's not by luck. It's by effort and determination. Our cross-country team is actually very successful. The girls have now won their 5th consecutive league championship. So our distance program is it's running at a high level here. And Bear Allison from the boys' side, he was able to represent our team at the New York State Championships, where he actually had a personal best up there. So for those of you who don't know Bear, he's very involved in the student, in our student group here, and he's just awesome. Our football team advanced to the Section 1 semifinal. It was a great game for them at the time. They were leading Rye in the 4th quarter by a point. I don't think Rye has been down by a point all year. They're probably going to win the New York State Championship this weekend. And if you ask Dino Gar, their coach who's been there for 50 years, he's probably going to say that their toughest opponent all year was Eastchester, and I don't doubt that for a second. Our girls soccer team, which is on the rise in numbers, and their ability to compete, went on the road to beat Pearl River, which was probably one of the more shocking wins in the fall across all sports. We got a lot of text messages and great, emails and voicemails from a lot of coaches and ADs around the section saying, hey, that's great for your coach, great for the girls. This is a really positive sign for our girls soccer program. And Sophia Torres, we always have, in Eastchester, you always have produced a lot of great swimmers. Sophia, went to the New York State Championships to compete in 2 events this year, which is amazing. She's an outstanding swimmer, and we look forward to future successes from Sophia. So that just sums up some highlights from the fall. There was a lot more, but I don't want to get too deep into the weeds. Winter, right now, we only have some of our numbers. We offer 8 varsity sports, 4 JV sports, and 7 modified sports. Right now, we just started for a week ago at the high school level, so we have 128 varsity athletes and 59 junior varsity athletes, and our modified sports are beginning this week, so we don't have all those numbers in detail yet. And as you can see, the breakdown at the high school level, we have 102 males and 85 females. Next up, I'm just going to invite up one of our high school physical education teachers. We just wanted to make sure that we're sending a clear message to our leadership group here for the district, the Board of Education, and Dr. V's team that this is educational-based athletics. And although our goal is always going to try to win and be successful and be competitive as we can be, our purpose is to create a sense of belonging and develop the whole child. And what Coach O'Connor does here with nutrition and lifetime fitness activities across our entire student population and the middle modified through varsity level, it's nothing short of fantastic. It's probably one of the best programs in the section in the county. So I just wanted to give Coach O'Connor a minute or two just to speak about his program.
Thank you. It's great to be here. I think last time I presented was back in 2018 when we first started this program, and it's grown quite a bit since then. So just an introduction. Before I took on the role of strength and conditioning coach, I was down at the elementary schools for about 11 years at Ann Hutch, Greenville, and Waverly, mostly Ann Hutch. And my goal back then was to pursue my private fitness goals in terms of running a training business. And so all my education and my post-grad work and everything that I did in my certifications was all geared towards becoming a better fitness educator, but towards the adult population. With that, in 2018, when Eastchester built the new fitness facility, everything aligned. And the support of the administration, my colleagues in physical education and coaching, I was able to come up here. And the reason I'm saying that, because the level of training you'd normally only see in private facilities, we bring it directly into our schools now. And today what we've built serves every student, every athlete, and prepares them for real-world fitness long after they've left Eastchester. So what do we provide to our what we provide for our students and our student athletes. So our strength and conditioning system is centered on two things: improving performance and performance enhancement, preventing injuries. All right, a stronger, more powerful athlete performs better and stays more durable across every sport. We train year-round, including summer, all right, and then we offer multiple off-season options and full in-season training every single season. So we are also the first fully operable middle school strength and conditioning program in Section 1, which I'm very proud of because we were able to get that done this year, which puts East Chester on the forefront statewide. This lets us build out fundamentals early, supports modified and JV teams, and creates a true long-term athletic developmental model. Our middle school fitness center is run daily by Elizabeth Delamonica, a middle school teacher and certified trainer, ensuring high-quality instruction for all our younger athletes as well. So everything we offer is completely free. The level of coaching, training, and support that would cost families usually thousands of dollars privately, right, we offer as part of their East Chester experience. So we've also built a unified athlete care system. I collaborate daily with Tara, our athletic trainer, and some of my background as a medical exercise specialist. We're able to put together post-rehabilitation programs, rehab programs for our students to bridge that gap between their return to play and then full performance back on the field or whatever court they're on. So nutrition and education resources. I actually just got done with a few teams tonight where early in the season what I do is I go over nutrition education in terms of meal timing, macros, and everything that they should and shouldn't be eating and meal timing in their season. I built a digital nutrition hub. They could scan it with their QR code. They take a look at it. We go through it. We go through hydration. We go through macros. We go through timing. And it's really just more of a resource for them instead of just lecturing in front of them. It's to actually give them a real-time resource that they could refer to. And we continue to talk about it as they come in for their strength and conditioning sessions throughout the season. And to keep the education going, I run a page called East Chester Strength on Instagram. I'm constantly posting nutrition and exercise science-based posts to let the community know what we're doing and to keep the education going outside of the walls of the fitness facility. Lastly, so our physical education for our students, which I am a phys ed teacher at the high school. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
So one of our biggest advantages we offer through our physical education is our electives. So non-athletes also have full access to our fitness center and structured training during the school day, and anyone who wants to continue after school is more than welcome, athlete or non-athlete alike. But the most important part is this: we're giving students a real education that they can use for the rest of their lives. Most adults say, if I were to ask a question in this room, like how do you get in shape, how do you stay in shape, most adults will say, I go to the gym. All right, but if my experience as a personal trainer, most adults didn't have the education, despite whatever walk of life they come from, whatever career they've gone through. They all had high school educations plus, but they never received the education on rep ranges or sets or hypertrophy versus endurance or heart rate zones, and that's something that we're given to every East Chester student. So whether they're an athlete here or not an athlete here, they're leaving with a full fitness education so they could be successful in the future. So beyond health, the program has opened doors professionally. Several students over the years have gone on to study exercise science, athletic training, and related fields because of their experience here that they were inspired to do. So thank you for giving me the time and opportunity tonight. I'm truly grateful. East Chester has given me the platform to share my passion, and I really love it here. So thank you.
So moving on, so just to, as I referenced in my opening statements, Principal Welsh, Mr. Jacoby's HR office, we've been working on some of our systems and structures that are in place. And we're just trying to create some consistency, some common language to be as transparent as we can to the community, to making sure that everybody knows that we're really just, as Dr. V likes to say, that gobstopper, that at the end of the day, our children, I guess my ultimate job is to get the best people in front of our kids to provide the highest quality instruction. So we feel if these 4 things are consistent, transparent, and we're all, again, speaking common language, we're going to be able to provide our kids with the best leadership we can. So just moving on to our handbook. The handbook we did not create, but Principal Welsh and I have reviewed it multiple times. We think it's really, it's pretty well done. As we said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. We would tweak something here and there, minor, but it's on the website. We're gonna start to push it out more. I think that's our goal with the handbook. All the stuff about student, athlete, parent communication is in there, health and safety, coaching expectations, all that good stuff. It's pretty lengthy. It's like I said, it's an excellent document. So as we begin to do student registration, we're also gonna make sure that it's pushed out. During those times, it's on the website. And as I send out my messages to the community about athletics, I'll always include the link of the handbook. Again, it just has a lot of valuable information. Our athletic hiring protocols, again, working with Mr. Jacoby's office, again, to make sure that it's fair, consistent, and transparent. And just for those of you that don't know, coaching appointments are annual. There is no tenure in coaching, so if, each year you have to reapply for your job. So that being said, when we do post a job, we're trying to cast the widest web that we can and try and find the best candidates to put in front of our children here in Eastchester. I'll do the screening of all those candidates from the multiple platforms that we post the jobs on, and then we'll have a panel interview, including myself, other experienced coaches. Depending on the position, we might have parents, student athletes involved in that process. This is all developing, but again, it will be consistent, hopefully by the end of the year. From that point, the panel will send 1 or 2 reps, candidates to the superintendent, which at the end, Dr. V would make the recommendation to the Board of Education. And as always, the Board of Education has the final stamp of approval on who we're offering our jobs to. So, there's always conversation about off-season workouts and is the coach, who's coaching those kids in the off-season. And we hope that we have some consistency in our coaching staff, that they feel confident enough that they can work with our kids in the off-season. Our coaching evaluations, again, this is a document that we put together to make the evaluation process much more consistent, where I sit down with each coach at the end of the season to go over their administrative responsibilities, their coaching and instruction practices, their student athlete support, their program leadership, and professional conduct. And at that time, as we review each coach's performance that season, we'll also indicate to them whether we'd like for them to come back next year, but they'll still have to go through the process of reapplying for their job, going through the interview, being recommended to the superintendent's office, and again, obviously being approved by the Board of Education. So that's how our evaluations are tied to our hiring process. Student athlete survey, this is probably the most new thing. Principal Welsh and I kind of worked on this together. We believe in student voice, 2 for 2. And we're going to distribute this survey to the fall athletes, hopefully by the end of this week or by the end of next week, the latest. It'll be anonymous. The student athletes will fill out a survey. Again, we're looking for, as it says here in the slide, we're looking for sort of some trends about those programs. This isn't a survey to say, I got you. This is a survey, this is an opportunity for our students to share their experiences, hopefully them being positive. And it's an opportunity for us as administrators, again, to reflect and evaluate with our coaching staff on how we can improve the experience for our student athletes. So we're excited about this. As a coach for a long time, for many years, we coached multiple sports. I would love to have this survey gone out to my student athletes so I can get that feedback to always reflect and self-improve. So I believe that's my last slide. And that's it for us tonight, unless anybody has any questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Amponi. Any questions from any of the trustees on the presentations that we went through this evening?
I just have one on the training. That's open for Coach O'Connell said, that's on the middle school? Like, can they just go to that, or how do they access that?
Yeah, so that would be more, that's new this
Okay.
year. So I would need Coach O'Connor to answer that specifically. So the middle school space that was transformed this year into the middle school fitness center is now being used. It is open to the general public general population in the middle school on certain days for certain hours. How do we communicate that right now? I can't answer that at this moment, but I will definitely get that back to you guys.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else, Dr. B?
That's it for us.
Great. We are now up to the approval of the consent agenda. Do I have a motion for approval on the consent agenda? Christine?
Be it resolved that the Board of Education approve the consent agenda, which includes the following: 7, approval of minutes; 8, personal agenda; 9, Committee on Preschool Special Education recommendations; 10, educational and curriculum and instruction; and 11, business office recommendations.
Thank you, Christine. Do I have a second? Lori? All in favor? And unfortunately, our district clerk is out ill this evening, so Jill, if you could just take record of that to submit to her office, that would be great. Thank you. Our future meeting dates will be December 16th and then January 6th. We are now up to comments from the public. When you come up, please state your name and address for the record. As always, we welcome all public comments and feedback, but please be mindful that this will not exceed 30 minutes in total for this portion of the evening, and each person has a hard stop at 3 minutes. And again, as a reminder, this is not a question and answer or a debate session. If you would like a broader discussion on a specific topic or topics, please reach out to the Board of Education or the Superintendent's office. Any public comment this evening? Mrs. Pinker, come on up. Good to see you.
I wasn't really planning on presenting or talking, but I was under the impression that we were going to be discussing the advanced learning program tonight. So a bunch of us came out because we wanted to hear where we stand on this, what the next steps are, and how and when this is going to be playing out. Because we've been working on this project for 2 years, and I know I've had a lot of conversations with Dr. Meyer, and it seems like it was starting to move and starting to get momentum, and I feel like we're kind of at a standstill. So I guess we're looking to know where we are on that.
Great, so just to give a brief response and then we can speak more to it. So we are very excited that actually we just approved our consent agenda, and as part of that was the approval of appointing someone for the stipend to be able to lead our Destination Imagination that will be starting afterwards. So we got a little stuck there, but we finally got it on and it's approved now, so we'll be able to move forward. So we are very excited to begin Destination Imagination.
Great, thank you. And when will we hear more information on how this is rolling out?
I think Dr. Meyer's probably getting ready to send out a communication later this week, if not very early next week.
Okay, great. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you as always. Thank you as always. Any other comments from the public this evening? Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting this evening? Rob? Do I have a second? Jackie? All in favor? Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful evening.